Hello, my name is Martin, and I'll be discussing what makes our classroom great. So, this year, I've learned a lot with all our subjects. So, for example, in Right Steps, that's a really good program. They You watch the video, and you usually write down in your spiral notebook what you have learned, and they tell you at the end what you have learned in that video, and then there's a practice at the end of the video, or when you finish the video, there's a practice, and in the practice you do it online on a Google Doc, which I totally love because it's online. I don't need to worry about losing my papers. And they even sometimes give you ideas. And currently we're in our research writing. We just finished our research writing unit in Right Steps, and the Right Steps, or the research unit, was all about researching and writing it and everything like that. So the other programs that we've learned are, like, for example, Skills 21. They help us learn virtues and different things like that. Skills 21 lets you, for example, there's a virtue called Achiever. What are you going to achieve in Skills 21? You have to help your group. You have to make sure your group achieves what your group is trying to achieve by defeating Caltron. Another thing is that sometimes, in Skills 21, you have a packet. You have to write, for example, Achiever. You have to write your plan to get Achiever, and your plan to get Achiever in the general classroom. So, for example, once you've written that, you go to the back side after like one or two more times with Skills 21, and you write down how have you evidence how you've have learned Achiever over time in Skills 21 or in your classroom. So after we're done with that, we show that to Mr. Solars, and we can get that virtue possibility, but it's not always 100% that we're gonna get it. We have different things like Passion Time, for example. Passion Time is really fun. We pick what we want to do, and after we pick what we want to do, we need to get approved by Mr. Solars, and we have a whole list of things, that like a checklist that we're supposed to go through before actually doing everything in our Passion Time blog post. So the programs are amazing because, for example, Right Steps, us, the students, we get lessons, and there's a unit like Unit 1, Unit 2, 3B, 3A through B, 4, 5, and 6, and there's lessons every day that you watch, and every student goes on their own pace. It's not really like we all go at different paces. We all go at the same pace. For example, also in Skills 21, I'm just using this as an example. It's amazing, I'm telling you, because we all have to communicate with each other. That's why we're in like an oval/circle shape, and we communicate with each other for things because we all need each other to do the program. We can't only have like one person do everything because we need all of us. We cannot do something without all of us. But we amazingly use technology in our class, and for example, on Right Steps, just writing in general, we do writing on Google Docs. It is very easy for me, especially as a fast typer. It is easy for me to write online instead of writing it on paper. And second of all, my finger doesn't get really hurt after I write for a while. Yeah, but though I know some people might be a bit slower, so that means that they might not be best at typing on the computers. We use almost everything for computers. Like, for example, if you look right there, that is our weekly schedule, and we can view that online anytime we want. And we always have that up there, so then we could just go up to it and then look at it. We use technology. For example, I'm right now making a video, and I'm doing I'm making a video instead of doing some kind of worksheet. That's one thing. I also, for example, when we were doing our social studies unit, we, instead of doing everything on paper and reading textbooks on paper, we read textbooks online, but not just that, we wrote our notes online, which was really helpful because you could have on one side of your screen the reading that you have, and on the you can have your notes, and then while you're reading or your partner's reading, you can just start typing your notes, which it's really great. Another thing in our classroom is that we have Gimme 5. So, for example, I do like Gimme 5, it's time to transition to like PE and music. Gimme 5s are a Gimme 5 is when we're all supposed to be quiet, and if one of us talk, then it's automatically work it out, and a work it out is a piece of paper where we, once we get in trouble, we have to write on there. But honestly, technology, we don't really write much things on paper, and we don't have many sheets of paper. Probably the only thing that we have worksheets for is a TFK, but everything else is like how it is. So I also love myself how everything's online. For example, everything. Most everything is online. Our Write Steps videos are online, and practices we are writing on online. We also do Skills 21, or at least we did do Skills 21 online. We did other different things online, and we personally, we as a classroom, we've worked very hard to become kind people. We, for example, we might not be very nice to each other, but as the year goes on, we get more comfortable with each other, and we become more kind to each other, and we have more friends. The way we learn differently in our class, at least, I think that most classrooms do, for example, WEX, and our classroom does Write Steps, and Write Steps is amazing, and that's something different that not many classrooms get, but Write Steps is really fun, and it in general it is fun. It's much fun. It's much better than, for example, WEX. And the skills that I've gained throughout this year, and the events of me using those skills. Well, in Skills 21, we've learned a bunch of virtues, and we have mini missions. But those mini missions or practice missions are just practice. They're like mini lessons. So we take those, and then we have a spiral. We write in our spiral what we did, or what we have learned. Then there's like a pop quiz after each one, and then we earn different like EP for each one, and then the EP that we get from it, we send, or the EP that we get, the EP that we get, we can use it on superpowers, or if you're in a virtue, we could use it on a virtue. And these virtues, we also use our packet for virtues and the evidence we have. Right now, I do not have the packet, but if I did, I would show you. I do have evidence, and for example, I have achiever, like my evidence for that is I have helped my group achieve a specific mission. Like for example, we need this. Or I asked, like, give me 5 to my group, should I get so and so? So, yeah. The special events in our classroom, and why were they fun / worthwhile? They, like, for example, we had cardboard challenge. I wasn't there for it, but it was from other people. It was amazing. It was really fun. For example, our fun day that we had with Mr. Solars, it was really fun. I am not joking. We had spheros, we had like different 3D goggles that we could put on and watch the 3D videos, and it was virtual reality practically. We also had like a digital EDU and a actual something EDU, breakout EDU. We had a digital breakout EDU and an actual physical digital breakout EDU, and it was really fun. And I think they were worthwhile because it really means sharpen the saw. Like, we take a break from what we've done, and we really, for example, in the breakout EDU, the physical version, or the real life version, it was very fun. And we really need to use, we had to use our own memory to think about everything and to unlock all the locks that were right here one day, that day, and get the key and save the town. And it was really fun. So we don't have any type of paper. We have a bunch of folders, but in those folders we have like nothing in them because we almost never use folders, or we like never have paper that we need. I also really love the schedule. It's super balanced, and I am flexible with it, changing like there and that, and I don't mind that if it changes. But we can also view it online, and we also have Homework Club. Homework Club is very helpful. Like if you haven't finished up your homework, or you want to do some schoolwork, or anything like that. So I also I like the online feedback that we get from Mr. Solars. So, for example, in Right Steps, once we write our writing, once we get to our middle table, he gives feedback on all of our writing, and I like that this feedback is like online instead of physical. And in our class, we don't get any grades, and we get. We don't get any grades. We don't get any percentages except for like math tests. And for example, on our blog posts, those are like kind of like worksheets, except online, and I think that they're much better than worksheets. But those after about like the trimester, at the end of the trimester, we get a blog sheet, and once we use those blog sheets, or blog sheets, so we first get them, and we're supposed to look through everything ourselves first and review everything and see what was actually really wrong with them, like if we find any mistakes. And then after a week goes by, Mr. Solis gives us another sheet, the same sheet except graded, and he tells us what we didn't get really and what we did get, and yeah. So then we're supposed to fix it, and then it gets graded after another week, or at the end of that school week. So that and all blog posts is much better than worksheets or anything like that. I also like the social studies and different things like that, like science also, because we actually did the activities in real life instead of just reading out the book and then never trying it out or never getting to experience something in your life. For example, in our social studies unit, Mr. Solars actually, when for example, the British and American War was happening, he did it with a rope, and the Americans got a fair advantage. Not because of more people, but because Mr. Solas pulled it, because the Americans actually won the land. So that is my video. Thank you, and goodbye.